Property investors are flocking to Dubai, and there's many reasons for this. From being a great lifestyle destination to actually living to amazing capital appreciation over the past couple of years. But one very big reason is also the very high rental yields you can get in Dubai. In fact, in Dubai property, you can get rental yields all the way from 5 to 7% on average, whereas in cities like London, the average is more like 4%, 3% in Paris, or 3.5% in Singapore. And in general, if you compare Dubai yields to most of developed cities in the world, there is pretty much nowhere where you can get the same kind of yields as Dubai. However, the rental yields in Dubai vary widely across different areas. The rental yields in the best areas can be as high as 8 to 9%, but in the worst areas, they can be as low as 2 to 3%. So it's really good to be aware of what are the areas in Dubai that offer the highest rental yield. So in this video, I actually have access to some pretty exclusive data on real transaction data of rentals and purchases in Dubai, and with our team we actually put together a list of the top areas for rental yields in all of Dubai, and this is based on actual real rental and purchase data. So these are fully real numbers. These are exactly the areas that offer the best rental yields. Now, of course, rental yields are only one consideration that you need to take into account when you are buying property in the UAE. There's also capital appreciation expectations that you might want to consider. If you're looking to live in it, then you need to obviously consider where do you actually want to live. And if you're looking to rent out this property, whether you're looking to rent it out long-term or on Airbnb, there's very different kinds of returns you can make. And some areas are better for long-term, some areas are better for short-term. And even within each area, there can be specific buildings that have much higher returns than the average for that area, and also vice versa. You might end up buying in a building that has a much lower yield compared to the average and then be surprised by that. So if you're looking to buy property, you should definitely get the help of an expert who knows how to consider all of these variables. If you're interested in that, you can actually book a free call with my team down below in the description, with whom we have helped tons of people buy property. These are also the same people who I work with right now. So if you're interested in buying property, definitely at least book that free consultation. You can get all of your questions answered, and then you can either move forward with them or not, depending on if it is the right fit for you. But now on to the data. So the great thing, first of all, about buying property in Dubai, why it's so secure, is because all of the purchase data as well as the rental data is fully public. It's all in the blockchain, and there are many services out there that have access to this data, and you can actually look at real direct data directly from the official government database. These services that you might use, like Property Finder, Beirut, you can use them to look at real purchase and rental history for specific areas or buildings or things like that. But we, with our team, actually have access to an even more exclusive software with even more granular data and things like that. And using this data, we were able to put this list together. So starting at number 5 on the top 5 list, we have Dubai Production City. So for all these, I will put a map on the screen that shows where this area is. Production City is located kind of on the west side of Dubai, so on the marina side, just behind Jumeirah Islands and Emirates Hills, kind of close to JBC, Jumeirah Village Circle. I've been here once actually to play paddle, I believe. I've driven through it a few times. I wouldn't say it's the nicest area in the world, but you're looking at this as an investment, so it doesn't really matter. You would imagine that a lot of young professionals who are new to Dubai, like working like a junior level job, might be working in this area to save money. And this is actually the case for a lot of the areas that we're going to cover here. It's a lot of rental demand because not many people are looking to live here long term and therefore buy property there. So therefore the demand for rentals outstrips the demand for purchases, if that makes sense, which creates these high rental yields. So at least that's my personal theory. For example, if you look at this on Property Finder, we can see a bunch of listings. If you just look at, for example, studios for 500, 400, 700, 600,000, and we can see that the average sale price for a studio in this area is only 562,000 dirhams. So this is a very beginner friendly area. If you're looking for your first investment and you don't want to spend too much money and you still want to get good deals, this is a very good area to look at. And the yield in this area over the past month has been 8.39%, so a very high amount. At number 4, we have Dubai Studio City, located very close to Dubai Production City as well. I've actually been here a few times myself. I would say it's nicer than production city, but again, like not the most nice area out there, not the biggest area. And again, if you look at some examples of what you could buy here on Property Finder, we make this a studio and we can see again 600, 500, 700,000. So it looks like it's a bit more expensive than the previous one, but also has slightly higher yield. The average sale price looks to be 623,000 dirhams. So again, yet another good beginner friendly area with not the highest prices in the world. And the rental yield for this area comes out to 8.42%, so just a bit higher than the previous area. At number 3, we have International City. This area is located a bit further away from the main areas. I'm aware of this area. It has this kind of international theme where if you like zoom into the area, you can see that we have the France cluster, the China cluster, the England cluster. It's kind of like themed around like different countries and things like that. You can see some pictures on the screen. A kind of a more normal area, like not super flashy or anything like that, but it's going to be closer on the downtown side. So again, you might imagine a lot of young professionals working perhaps in DIFC or in Dubai Silicon Oasis, which is very close to actually, I think, right next to this area. We can see listings for 500, 400, even 300,000 dirhams. And it seems like for a studio, the average sale price is 419,000 dirhams. So even more affordable than the other areas, which makes sense because it is a bit further away, a bit more in the desert. And the rental yield, which is what we're here for, is 8.76%, so almost 9% for this area. At place number 2, we have downtown Jebel Ali. So not downtown Dubai, but downtown Jebel Ali. This is actually an area I wasn't even aware of, but it seems to be very close to Palm Jebel Ali, which you might have heard of before, essentially the new palm that they are building on the west side of Dubai, a bit further away from the main action. But this is actually very interesting because this area over here, this whole area around Jebel Ali, is poised to become very popular in the coming years as Palm Jebel Ali becomes more developed, because obviously there's going to be a lot of development generally in this area. And the second reason why this area is also very interesting is because the new airport, because Dubai are actually moving their main airport to here at Al Maktoum International Airport. That airport is going to be very close to here. So a lot of people are saying that there's going to be a lot of development around this strip from the new airport towards Palm Jebel Ali, which is where also downtown Jebel Ali would be. Obviously for right now, there's probably not much there, but it could also have a lot of potential from a capital appreciation standpoint. Although obviously this is just my speculation. This is not investment advice. I have no idea what I'm talking about. If you want to speak to someone who does know what they're talking about, book that call down below in the description. You can see listings again for 500, 400, 600,000 dirhams, something like that. We will see that the average sale price for a studio is 606,000 dirhams. And the yield here comes out to 8.81%. But there is one area that over the past month has been offering yields of over 9%. And that is Dubai Investment Park. If you look at this on the map, this is again a bit closer to this west side, closer to the new airport, which again could have a lot of the same benefits as the previous area that we discussed. It's not an area where I have been, so I actually don't know much about this, but you can see some pictures over there on the screen. And then if we look at the prices over here, and the average price for a studio, only 454,000 dirhams, and the rental yield is a whopping 9.03%. So 9% yields you can get in Dubai if you just know where to buy. However, there's a couple of caveats I want to make here. So I'll put on the screen the full picture of the list where you can see also the other areas. Now, I wouldn't say it makes sense to make your decision based on where you're gonna buy, based on like, okay, this area on average has like 0.03% higher rental yields or something like that. There's again more things to consider. And the other thing to consider is that we can also see here how these yields have been changing over the past month, the past quarter, the past year. And we can see that for this top area, for example, Dubai Investment Park, DIP, this yield has been decreasing over the past month, like decreased by 6% over the past year. So we're not going to expect that the yield is going to stay at 9%. It's just right now that is what it is. And for a lot of this also, we can see that it is decreasing. So they might not stay the highest areas. But for some of these as well, like for example, Dubai Studio Cities, we can see that it's actually been increasing over the past month. So you want to look at, again, more considerations than just rental yields. This is just one that is just very interesting to know, that actually a lot of these more affordable areas can actually offer higher yields in many cases. But again, if you want to consider all the details, definitely book that free call down in the description. We can discuss your specific situation, your specific needs, like what exactly you're looking for, and offer you options and essentially explain a lot of details that you might not even think to consider if you hadn't spoken to an expert. And obviously booking that call doesn't mean that you have to move forward with them, only if it is the right choice. And if you're specifically looking to live in Dubai, you might want to be interested to see what is it actually like to tour some of these more lesser known areas in Dubai, because there's actually a lot of lesser known areas in Dubai that many people wouldn't even consider, that many people haven't even heard about, but are actually super nice. So I actually went and toured a lot of these areas in Dubai with my friend, and I documented it in this video right here. So if you're interested in seeing a lot of underrated areas of Dubai that you might not have heard of but should actually be aware of, then definitely watch that video next.